So last week I did a review on a Maverick REV-6, which I have modded. But the reason why I would use this in a Nerf war is because I modded it. This week I am going to be reviewing an unmodded Maverick REV-6. Is it reliable enough to be in a Nerf war? Well, let's find out. Hey guys, it's SirMikay here. Welcome back to another Nerf review. This is going to be on the Maverick REV-6. It is not a Nerf mod video like last week. This is an actual Nerf review, but anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with external overview, there is no end strike barrel lug, no stock attachment point, and only one rail, which is pretty sucky. But it also does have the same functionality as the modded Maverick, minus the fact that you can actually drop the cylinder out of the blaster, rather than just partially like this. There are mods to drop the cylinder out further, or even entirely, but this one, in its unmodded form, the cylinder only goes out so much, and reloading it just feels really slow. Heck, unless you're using the interchangeable cylinder mod, reloading a Maverick feels kind of sluggish. But you can snap the cylinder into a certain position if you'd like. Moving back, this is the cylinder release. You just press this button and push the cylinder out of the blaster. Pretty obvious. And this here is the priming handle. To prime the blaster, you simply pull back, and then you're ready to fire once. However, this is also what happens to have the tack rail on it. And personally, I think this is the worst possible place you could put a tack rail. Because if you were to put something like a flip-up sight or an optic on it, then it just feels so flimsy, and the attachment might actually snap off. This is something I've been worrying about ever since I first put an attachment on here. And it never actually happened to me, but it just does not feel sturdy for me. Not sturdy enough for my liking. Now to the grip. This is a pretty comfortable grip. I have to say, it is pretty nice. Feels very nice on my hand. And down here to the trigger. Trigger pull is pretty light. However, it does annoyingly rotate the cylinder. And you're going to find out why I think that's annoying in functionality, which we are going to get to right now. So anyways, on to functionality. Moving on to functionality. As I said in my external overview, there are no attachment points except for a single tactical rail on top of the priming handle. And also, like I said on my external overview, this is the single worst spot you could put a tack rail. For this particular example, I have put on the Recon flip-up sight. And I don't know about you, but it just feels so flimsy using an attachment here. And I really would not put anything on there. I would just run a Maverick without any attachments. Because, you know, they might snap off, or at least I always worry that they will. That's how flimsy it feels. Yeah, other than that single tactical rail, there are absolutely no attachment points. And like I said in my external overview, this is indeed the priming handle. It has a sling mount here, although I would not really put a sling on there. You could dual wield these with the slings, but without slam fire functionality, it just does not feel fun at all. And that's another thing. This blaster does not have slam fire. You can only single fire the blaster, which means every time you pull the trigger, you have to pull this priming handle back. You can't hold down the trigger and keep pulling the priming handle back and expect it to slam fire. Holding down the trigger will even lock the priming handle in place. So, yeah, you might not want to try slam firing it because it will not end well. And this button here, it does open up the cylinder, just enough for you to be able to shove in 2 darts at once. But then you have to rotate it more, and it doesn't feel much quicker than just reloading the darts one by one. But yeah, that is functionality for this blaster. Let's get on to shooting it. Operating the blaster was fun, although there were a few annoyances. For example, priming the blaster. You could not slam fire this, as I said, in functionality. Also, you could use attachments here, but it just does not feel sturdy at all. And trust me, if you tried putting attachments on there and run this with attachments, then you'll know what I mean. And there was also an annoyance where the the cylinder would rotate on trigger pull, whether or not the blaster was primed. So, if you're trigger happy, you could potentially mess yourself up if your cylinder was partially unloaded. If you're trigger happy, then you might accidentally, dry fire it, which is normal, and normally the solution to that would just be to not have your blaster primed until you're ready to fire. However, that solution cannot protect you from another part of this issue, which is potentially setting the cylinder to dry fire the blaster. And that is going to be really annoying. You don't want to, so you would kind of want to, break the habit of being so trigger happy in that case. And my overall opinion is this blaster is okay, but if you have a Strongarm or another revolver that's more useful, then this is pretty obsolete. It's basically a worse, older version of the Strongarm. And it doesn't have as many capabilities. For example, the Strongarm has slam fire and a better spot to put the tack rail. It actually has it on top of the blaster and not the priming handle. Plus, the cylinder opens up more, and it allows for some quicker reloading. Not only that, but it also doesn't rotate the cylinder on trigger pull unless the blaster is primed. So you can be as trigger happy as you want with a Strongarm, whereas with a Maverick, that is not advised or even possible if you're looking to be a good nerfer. But yeah, you can take this into a battle if it's your only weapon or if it's your best weapon available. But if you have something better, such as a Strongarm, then I do not recommend this. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's review. Thank you for watching. It's been SirMikay. Bye.